How you doing, trappers? Ed Schneider with Kansas Trapline Products. Hey, I got a great YouTube show for you today. It's about where I put my sets along the edge of a center pivot. For those of you who are getting into getting some land that has center pivot around there, I want you to show you one of the spots that I like to trap. Most of the time, a lot of center pivots actually have some tall grass points, and so if you see that, whether it's some set-aside ground or wheat stubble, you definitely want to trap that feature on the center pivot. That being said, this center pivot actually has stubble in the pivot, and it has and around the pivot on the field next to it, and it has new wheat. So it has very easily. It's easy to set in the new wheat side. The coyotes are going to walk in the new wheat field. It's easy to walk, but they're going to hunt. They're going to hunt those stalks. That's where the pheasant are. That's where the quail and other animals and the mice are. So that's what I want you to take out of this. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here at this set. There's several sets in this location. I'm showing you one of them, and this is probably the most important location. It's where the pivot meets another pivot or meets a field. It's where it comes together. Everything kind of bottlenecks down out there in the open, if you will. Now, I want to thank all of you who have subscribed. So many of you have, and I really appreciate that. And if you, for those of you who haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Help my channel grow. It helps me bring you more YouTube videos. There isn't much of a fur market. There's certainly not much of a bait and lure market for my business like there once was a few years ago. I could use all your help I can get. So thanks a lot. Until we meet again, tight chain strappers. Got ourselves a pretty tough old customer here. He's been kind of beating me here, coming over the sides, all that kind of stuff. But today he couldn't do it. So he looks like he's got a little attitude to him, and got a little scent post over here. See if that one's been bothered. See where that thing is. There it is. Okay, we're okay on that set. So got a nice scent post. Got a little bit of track over there, but I maybe didn't wipe that part out. But we got him over here, so we'll go and take care of him. We'll rebuild the set together today. Got that guy put down. Wasn't too much trouble. And he's a tough customer, that guy was. So now, got to figure out, this was an RJ set. We have a, what a weird year. 75 degrees today is what it's expected to be. So anyway, but we're going to be 44 degrees for a high tonight. So I've been really making sure my sets are operating and, you know, kind of giving a little extra lure today just to make sure them son of a guns got it. Let me cut this side down and get it back right. Okay. Big ol' RJ. This has been a very productive end, this edge here. I'm going to show you all this here again just to give you the idea of the location. But it's been a very productive area, taking quite a few coyotes. First time out of this set, but got a real poplar set down there. And well, I haven't checked it yet. It's got a nice salient feature to it. Cut this side down. Every remake is a little different, isn't it? Just got to clean it out. I'm certain many of you are facing similar deals. I understand out east, they're up in Maine, they've been getting some rain. This area would certainly like to have it. To give you an idea of how deep this is, I have it nice and deep. The dirt worked well, and I have it nice and wide. And I like it a little bit wider now. Definitely 6 inches wide, giving the coyote an opportunity to think he can get in. About as fast as I fill it or pull it out, I got more dirt falling in. Let me get my hole made. There we go. Ought to be pretty close now. There's a wool. Very good. All right. Using a 5.5 size trap for this, dogless. The less I got to dig, the better. Cut this hill down a little bit. There we go. There we go. Crowd that, kind of crowd in your trap, giving them the one way in, which I'll show you. I tell you what I'll do is I'll bring it over here right now, let you see that. Okay. Let's set you right up here. I have to back it up a little bit. Got a shadow, that's the only thing that's kind of bad, but I'm going to go ahead and bed that trap. Let me back it up a little bit. There we go, and let you see that. Okay. So I'll take my dogless and make sure my night latch is clean. This trap just 2 coiled, but it was enough. And I'm putting this side is my high side. This is the side that's what I call open or closed. And then the side where you're on, I'll open that up a little bit. I think I pretty much got it. Fast as I pull that loose dirt out, it comes back in. Let me get a baggie. Just put that baggie in there. Put a little loose dirt. Get it to stay. Okay? And then I'll go ahead and sift some dirt right over it right now. Let that, now what? As I push that down, it'll help bed that trap after I push it down. Yep, she's solid. So now I got it. There's so much. Let's find that trap hand. There we go. And I'm going to pull this dirt up over the lever. Now, if you're in an area that it's wet and it's got some moisture, you're going to want to tilt your trap so that the water drains off, but it's dry here. And I want to encourage that coyote to step right there. So let's go ahead and add ourselves a little bit of a guide to say don't step there. I'm going to push some of this dirt kind of on around, making sure all this is solid leading up to it. I don't want them stepping right here, so I'll put a little guide right there. Let's put something here kind of in the back to convince them to not take that step. Get rid of that. And I'll finish putting a little dirt on it. There, I got it. It don't take much now. So now I have the set done. All of this is pretty solid. If you feel bad enough or like you need it enough and you want to move something or what have you to
convince them to take that step. You know, you can use this. I got this over here to the side. Want them to step right there. You can do whatever you want with it and kind of just guide the animal up. So it's time to go ahead and lure. Now I'm going to use some of my Flint Hills Red Fox paste bait. And I'm going to use some moonshot call lure. And I'm going to use a little wool, which we already got the wool from the last coyote. Got it pulled out. And then I'm going to go ahead also and that's the moonshot. There. So I'm using my Flint Hills Red Fox paste bait. And I'm going to use a nice gob, about that much. Stick that down in my hole. I'm going to place my wool in the hole. And finally, some moonshot. And I'm going to kind of turn that a little bit. But I'm about 2.5 feet long in a set. And I'm going to go and smear this low and away. That's where it's solid, so that's where it's going to be. They're going to want to dig for that call lure, but there it is. It's deep. I don't know how deep. I mean, I got to be 20 inches plus down there, and it's about 2.5 feet in total length. I'm telling them that it's at least a 3-inch drop. Something O'Gorman was real big on. It's at least a 3-inch drop down there, and this is solid leading there. So go and smooth it out. Just so you, I know the coyote knows that we were here, but we want to smooth it out so this way the coyote, we can tell if anyone visited the set. That's my number one thing. So I got my set done. My other set over here is in super shape, so we're good to go. Let's go ahead and skin this coyote out. And we'll do it. We'll go and get this guy done. Or opening him up. So let's do that real quick. I'll set this down, and we'll go from there. I almost forgot to show this to you. I told you I was going to show it, and I didn't. So like I said, there's the remake of my set. But look how trashy that looks right there. My scent post along the center pivot. And look at this long edge, and even you can from here can see the salient feature further on down. So it stands. I got a dirt hole set right there, which has been the most productive. I don't see nothing looking at me, but anyway, we'll keep going. But this is a nice edge right here, right along the center pivot, heading to a cattle feeding operation. Just a nice, real nice place. You got to have features. They got some cattle on stock right here next to me. So anyway, nice remake, ready for the next coyote. Get my gloves on. Like I said, opening up these coyotes, I think is really, takes a little more at the set. I don't know how long it takes me. It takes me as long as it takes, right? But, what I want to do is speed up my time tonight. Just speed my time up. So I'm just opening them up to put them in the gambrel. And what I'll do is, guys said to me about, well, the coyotes dry out. Well, they do a little bit, but I fold the skin back over what I opened up. And this little bit of work just saves me a ton of work tonight, because the machine can go ahead and deal with a cold coyote. I don't have to worry about a hot hide. Or a cold hide, I should say. So just open up the coyote enough to get your gambrel in. Here we go. Just about there. Making sure you don't cut through that tendon. That's done. And like I said, I got an eye bolt up here on my skinning pole. There we go. so I can open up this coyote nice and easy. There we go. So, got him hanging up, starting here down by the end of the white over the top of the tail, and I'll work my way up, get on top of it. Going around the vent, about basically even with the testicles, with the scrotum. Okay, and run it up the leg, on keeping the white on the white and the brown on the brown. This is a good coyote. Real good coyote. Kind of help you out a little bit. Pull that off the belly a little bit. And let's work it up the other side of the vent on the other leg. I'm not going to gland them here. I'll do that tonight. If it's daylight when I get home tonight, I'll show you what I do on the machine. All right. Now just a matter of, let's pull this belly side down a little bit, loosen it up. It has a couple tendons. Open up that belly. I think you'll find he skins a lot better with the belly open. There we go. Pulling that down. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Open them up. Just go ahead and pull down. If he's a little tough right there, give it a little help. Sometimes you just got to use a knife, as one man told me. There we go. But it's a lot easier now than it will be tonight. Same thing on the other side. That is real nice. Okay. Separate that tail from the hide, the lower back. Being careful you don't cut into the skin. I'm going to go into the belly side here and just cut out around the testes, the scrotum, leaving that part on the hide. Cut the penis from the sheath. There we go. Now I'm in a position to do a little pulling. If it takes a minute, it takes a minute. If it takes 5, it takes 5. Put that back. Let's go ahead here. My job on opening up the coyote's almost done. Just go ahead and strip out that tail while we think it. I'm already pretty well done here. Pull it down. Get it ready for the machine tonight. Here we got it. This guy's ready for the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back up so he doesn't dry as much. And I'll put him in the truck. There we go.